And so the womb-based practices that we'll do through the yoga, you'll notice a lot of like circular movements. It's not going to be like warrior one, warrior two, arms out. Like it's just kind of like really flowy. And it's just to be able to tap into that idea of the cycles, the idea of like fluid movements. And the more that we're able to kind of like clear that energy through the womb space, we hold a lot of our emotions in the hips. They call that the second chakra, Swadhisthana. It's the area that we hold our emotions, our creativity, literal creativity through creating life. So if we're able to kind of, move that energy around in the body, then we get to clear out that stagnation, clear out, if there was any birth trauma, clear out a lot of that past experience to be able to make room for the new. Okay, so we're gonna get started in all fours. And we're just gonna start with some cat-cow. So making sure that your shoulders are in line with your wrists here and your hips are in line with your knees. On an inhale, you're gonna tilt the tailbone up towards the sky, drop the belly down, and maybe the gaze goes up towards the ceiling. And then on the exhale, you're gonna tuck the tailbone under and start to press through your hands so the space between the shoulder blades reaches up towards the ceiling. Inhale, tilt the tailbone up, drop the belly down, and exhale, round and curl. So just connecting to that steady rhythm of breath we did at the very beginning. Inhale for maybe a count of 3 or 4, and exhale for a count of 3 or 4. And connecting the movement with the breath. Maybe closing the eyes. And then we'll come back to a flat back here. We're gonna bring our hips and our head over to the right. So you're getting like almost like a bananing the body to one side. So you're pressing the hips and the head to one side. And then you'll come through the center and bring the hips and the head to the left. Just getting a stretch through the different sides of the body. You can move here, left and right in your own time. And then coming back to center. Now we're gonna bring all those movements together in kind of this barrel movement. So on the inhale, you're gonna drop the belly down, kind of shift the body over to the right, press up, round and curl, and bring the body over to the left, and then drop the belly down, right up to the sky, and left and down. So just kind of feeling. You can bend the elbows and move the shoulders around. You can really spread the sits bones and exaggerate through the pelvis here. Breathing in on the way down and breathing up, breathing out on the way up. And then when you feel ready, you can move in the opposite direction. You can swap sides again, maybe doing a couple more in the right direction and then a couple more in the left direction, maybe closing the eyes. And then we'll come back to center and we'll spring our right foot to the outside of the right hand, doing a little bit of twister here. And this is where you might like to have your blocks to bring the hands underneath the blocks, just noticing how it feels. You might bring the floor a little bit closer to you. But we'll do our hip circles here. So again, bring your awareness to the area of the pelvis as you move in one direction. These can be as big or as small as you'd like them to be, the circles. Connecting to the breath. And over time, you might find that you'd like to do bigger circles, or you might like to make it more subtle and going in the opposite direction if you haven't swapped already. You can drop the neck if you're holding tension through the neck. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. It's what feels good in your body. And then we'll come back to center and we'll bring the leg back to meet the left leg. Do a couple cat-cows. Inhale, tilt the tailbone, and exhale, tuck Moving at your own speed here, just resetting through the spine. And then we'll bring the left foot to the outside of the left hand, using the blocks if you like, moving into our hip circles. So really pressing down through that left toe as well, so that the whole left foot stays connected to the mat as you circle around. You might notice there's some tension in one part of the hip or the back leg, and you can pause and breathe if you'd like. And moving in the opposite direction if you haven't switched already. And then we'll come back to center, bring the leg to meet the right leg, couple cow-cats. Inhale, breathing in, and exhale, talking curl. Doing 3 or 4 of these as you reset the spine. And we'll come back to a tabletop position. We're gonna bring the knees as wide as the mat, toes to touch behind, and we'll start to sink the hips back into a child's pose. If this doesn't feel good for your hips, you can also bring a bolster underneath so that the bum can reach the heels there. So if you find that your bum is really reaching up, I think everyone looks pretty good though. And you'll lean the body forward, down towards the mat with the forehead gently resting down on the mat. You can bring the arms as wide as you'd like. It might feel better on the shoulders. You can gently start to rock the forehead side to side, giving your forehead a little massage there. Taking deep breaths in, feeling the back of the sacrum there, the low back really expand on the breath in. And on the exhale, feeling the body just release the weight down into the support of the earth. Inhale, feeling that pelvic floor just extend and release down. And exhale, feeling a gentle gathering in. No tightening or bracing, but just feeling that expansion and that contraction that naturally comes with the breath. Taking 5 more deep breaths here. And then at the end of your 5th breath, we're going to walk the hands in towards the body, starting to stack the spine over the hips. And we're going to shift over to one side of the hips there and bring the legs out in front into a butterfly position. So the soles of the feet to touch, knees out wide. If this feels uncomfortable, you can also sit on a bolster, gives your low back a bit of space there. And we're going to bring the hands to the outside of the feet like you're holding or like opening up a book. So thumbs to the soles of the feet and the hands and fingers on the outside. And so on the inhale, you're going to pull the elbows towards your ribs there. So you're like pulling the chest forward and opening the chest up, maybe looking up. So this is like a seated cat-cow. And on the exhale, you're going to tuck the tailbone and straighten the arms and tuck the chin in, starting to round in. Inhale, you're starting to rock forward onto the pelvis. And exhale, you're starting to round towards the back of the pelvis. Inhale into an anterior tilt. And exhale into a posterior tilt. We're going to do 5 more breaths. Move at your own speed. So we all have different rhythms of breath, which means we might all start to move at different speeds. Maybe closing the eyes if you'd like to. Bring the experience inwards. Beautiful. And then we'll come back to center. We're going to bring the legs out in front of us, about hips distance apart, and you're going to bring the toes back towards the nose. So really flexing the feet there. And you're going to clasp your hands like we're going to churn a vat of butter, something none of us have ever probably done. Maybe we have, I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions. Ice cream might be a better one. I don't know. But yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's basically what we're doing. So keeping the legs super, super grounded, like you're pressing the calves and the back of the legs down into the earth. You're going to start to move like in a big circle, like you're churning that ice cream that we're going to eat later. But you're just starting to clear out that stagnation, starting to break up that stagnation through the lower half of the body. And you can get the elbows and the shoulders and the neck involved. You can close your eyes, judgment-free zone. You can make this as big of a circle as you like, or as small of a circle as you like. Inhaling on the way up and exhaling on the way down. You can move super slow. You can turbocharge the ice cream churning. Like I said, no right or wrong way to practice. And then we'll come to center. Just pause for a moment, maybe close the eyes, take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And then we'll go in the opposite direction when you feel ready. Keeping the legs super active and strong so they're your base there that allows you to kind of go a little deeper into the circle. Breathing in on the way up and breathing out on the way down. Beautiful. And then we'll inhale on the way up. We'll just pause for a moment, bring the palms onto the tops of the legs, take a deep breath in and a long breath out. This time on a deep breath in, feel the breath rise up the spine. And on the breath out, feel the breath go to the bottom of the pelvis, rooting those sits bones, the bottom of the pelvis down into the earth. Taking one more deep breath in and exhale down. Alrighty. We're gonna bring the legs in into like a crisscross or, crisscross applesauce. And you might like to sit on a bolster. Sometimes that feels nice to kind of lift the hips up and gives your low back a little bit of space. All right. So we're going to bring the left hand over our heart and the right hand over the left. And we'll start to close our eyes here. And again, if that doesn't feel comfortable, you can look down towards the mat. We're just starting to take deep breaths into the space of the heart here. And just becoming aware of all four corners of the heart. The front, the back, the right, the left. And starting to become aware of this space of the holder of love and compassion and gratitude. That's the energy of the heart. And also becoming aware of the space of the breast in front of the heart, and how, whether if you're breastfeeding or not, just by showing love and compassion to your baby is energetically breastfeeding your baby. So taking a deep breath into the space of the heart, feeling this love and compassion through the heart, and then exhale, guide your right hand down below the belly button, just hovering above the space of the womb. So as you breathe in, feel that love through the heart space. And then as you breathe out, send that love down to the womb space. And as you breathe in, gather that womb energy of creativity and love up to the heart. And then exhale, bring the heart energy of compassion back down to the womb. Inhaling creativity, grounding, stability up to the heart. And exhaling love and compassion down to the womb. Just moving at your own pace here. We're starting to build a connection to this inner river. So in yoga, this is called the Hridaya Yoni Nadi, the heart womb channel. And in traditional Chinese medicine, it's called the Bao Mai, the heart womb river. So, and in other indigenous and earth-based traditions, there's always a mention of this inner energetic channel through the body. So on your next inhale, you're going to bring that womb energy up to the heart and also bring your right hand to meet the left so that it's in prayer at the heart. We're going to inhale at the heart here. And then exhale, bring the hands into like a downward facing triangle. So the tips of the thumbs and tips of the index fingers are touching. And you're going to exhale, bring that heart energy down towards the womb with your hands. And then inhale, bring the hands to prayer, back up to the heart. Exhale, downward triangle, down towards the womb. Inhale, prayer, back up to the heart. Exhale, love and gratitude and compassion to the womb. Inhale, grounded stability, strength up to the heart. So moving again with this inner river in your own speed, in your own rhythm of breath. Honoring these two incredibly strong, energetic channels of the body. The heart has an electromagnetic field that's 10 times greater than the brain. Actually, I think it might be 100 times. Anyways, it's huge. It's so powerful. Being able to access that space of love and bring it down to a space of the womb where we don't really spend a lot of attention, or sometimes we just feel as more of an inconvenience than anything else, is allowing us to tap into that intuition and tap into that space that is our inherent power. So on the next breath out, you're going to breathe that love and compassion and bring your hands down towards the womb, but keep going past the womb and bring your triangle down into the earth and bring that love down into the earth. And then as you inhale, gather up that triangle all the way up to the sky and look through your little triangle. And then exhale, bring the hands into an open lotus down into the heart, gathering it, your open flower down to the heart. Then close the hands to prayer. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, downward triangle, down to the womb, love, compassion, down to the earth. Breathing in, scooping up that triangle up towards the sky, honoring it up to the heavens, God, universe. And then exhale, that open lotus down to the heart. Breathing in, prayer. Breathing out, down to the womb, down to the earth. Breathing in, up to the sky. And breathing out, down to the heart. All right, bring your hands to prayer just for a moment here. Pausing at the heart. And then at the next breath out, we'll bring the hands into the triangle and rest it down at the womb, pausing here at the womb. Becoming aware of the space of the pelvis, the whole space of the womb. Breathing in light, breathing in space, breathing in respect. And breathing out, just letting go of any negative connotation you might have with this space, whether it's inconvenience or perhaps intense, sensations through your cycle or whatever it might be, just allowing that exhale to kind of clear out like you're taking a broom and sweeping out all the cobwebs. Breathing in light and breathing out and letting go. Taking a couple more moments here. And then when you feel ready, we'll start to bring the hands down towards the thighs. We can open the eyes and we're going to start to lie down. So you can bring the bolster underneath the knees. Sometimes that feels really nice on the low back. And you might like to, get, if you have a jacket that you put on, I can turn the air down a little bit because you'll be lying down. We're going to make our way all the way down onto the floor. And we'll have our hands in that downward triangle just below the belly button. This downward triangle is called yoni. So closing the eyes if you haven't already. I'm gonna move through a relaxation process. So as I say different parts of the body, you'll bring your awareness to that part of the body. And just imagine like a warm glow, like a warm hug to that part of the body where you're able to just release, like as when you're holding and hugging someone and that, 10 seconds in, and then you can just, oh, okay, I can just relax. That's that kind of sensation that we're gonna bring to each part of the body. So we'll start at the top of the head. Bring your awareness to the very top of the head, that warm glow, washing down to the face, the forehead, the eyebrows melting down to either side of the face, giving space in between the space of the eyebrows. The cheekbones can rest down and the jaw can release. A warm hug to the jaw. The tongue resting down at the bottom of the mouth. The front of the throat can rest down towards the back of the throat, and the sides of the neck can melt down towards the mat. The shoulder blades can rest into the back of the mat. And the space between the collarbones can soften. The front of the heart can rest down towards the back of the heart. A warm, glowing hug for the heart. Going down across the abdomen to the low belly. Warmth, love, compassion to the belly. Moving down to the pelvis, through the hips. Washing down the legs, allowing the muscles of the legs to melt off the bone. Washing down the shins and the calves, and the feet. Warm, glowing hug. Coming back up the backs of the legs through the calves and the hamstrings and resting at the low back. And then from the low back, coming into the center of the pelvis, to the space of the womb. When you feel ready, start to bring your left hand up towards your heart, keeping your right hand where it is. Moving into that inner river. Inhaling, bringing the energy of the womb up towards the heart. And exhaling, bring that love back down towards the womb. You can leave your hands as they are, left hand at the heart, right hand where it is. Just moving through these cycles of breath. And then to further ground the experience, we'll bring our right hand down onto the mat or onto the floor, keeping the left hand at the heart. Feeling the earth beneath us, beneath the layers of the flooring, beneath the layers of the foundation of the building, cracking through the soil. Or maybe it's more sand here in Florida. But moving all the way down until you can feel like there's like a cord between your hand and the core of the earth. And when you feel like you're kind of plugged in like a socket into the core of the earth, you're going to inhale that grounded energy, that grounded foundational energy of the earth all the way up that cord, up through your hand and into the heart. And then as you exhale, bring your love and respect for the earth back down your arm, down through the cord, into the core of the earth. Inhale, grounded, stability, strength, foundation. Exhale, love, reverence, and compassion. Paying our respects for our inner world and paying respects for our outer world. knowing that our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. When you feel ready, you can bring your left hand down by your side now. Just pause here for a couple moments. Each exhale, feeling the support of the earth beneath you, pressing up into the body like a gentle hug, like you're floating here into the support of the earth. Knowing that you are enough, just as you are. And then when you feel ready, we'll start to gather the legs in towards the chest. So one knee in towards the chest and the other knee in. Give yourself a big hug. Wrap the arms around the legs. Maybe even bring the forehead up to the knees if that doesn't hurt your neck. And just give yourself a big squeeze, a big hug, and take a deep breath in and whisper silent to yourself, thank you. And release, and we can move onto one side here, maybe bringing the knees over to one side and start to rock over into the fetal position, just pausing and gently starting to sit yourself up whenever you feel ready. You can keep the eyes closed if you like, or go nice and slow.